Hey guys and girls, this is Alish from gainmedialab.com. Welcome to my exciting world of live audio mixing. In today's episode, I will show you 5 ways how to spot a sound engineer while at a live gig. But before we get into all that, have you subscribed to this channel yet? If not, hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. With all that out of the way, let's just start the show. So let's say you're meeting a couple of friends and going out for a fun night. One of those things that you can do is visit a live show with a live band playing at your favorite venue. Now the group of people is quite new and you don't know everybody, but there's some telltales that you might see and figure out if any of your friends or new acquaintances is a sound engineer. Here's the first thing that will always be a dead giveaway. When you arrive at the venue, and you're trying to figure out where you guys should stand for the entire show, if you hear somebody say, "Oh, let's go and stand in front of the front of house position," that is said by a sound engineer. First of all, nobody says front of house if they don't know what that means. Second of all, we know that the front of house position is usually the best seat in the house when it comes to audio. It makes sense, right? The person behind the mixing console is translating what they are hearing through the PA system. And if you can get really close to their position, what they are hearing is what you will be hearing as well. So if somebody suggests, "Let's spend the entire evening leaning against the front of house barricades," that's usually a dead giveaway. You're dealing with a sound engineer. The second thing that is a dead giveaway is the conversation during the show. So imagine the scenario. The show is going on, everybody's having fun, they're jumping around, clapping to the music, singing along, everybody's having a great time. So strike up a conversation and say something like, "Hey, the show is really happening, right?" "Yeah, I know, right?" Especially the snare. Can you hear like the low end on the snare really hitting hard? Man, it's great. There's a way we listen to sound in general, so we don't hear the entire thing. We sort of break it down and analyze it and think about specific elements of the mix and try to figure out how they are constructed. So don't be alarmed if the person next to you starts talking about the snare or the hi-hat or the backing vocals or the third tuba from the left, like a very specific element of the entire show, because that's what we do. We break things down, we analyze them, and we think about very, very specific elements that are building blocks of the entire soundscape for the show. We're not weirdos. We're just wired that way. Sign number 3, or if you're from the States, sign number 3. Don't be alarmed if the person next to you sort of disappears and vanishes throughout the show and comes back like 15 or 20 minutes later, mumbling something to themselves about number of elements in the array. I just checked. They have like 16 speakers per array for the main hang, and then like 8 speakers in the outfill hang, and then 16 subs and end-fired configuration. Did I mention that sound engineers talk about gear a lot? That's what we do. We go to the show and then we inspect every little thing about that show. So it has to do with the mixing console, it has to do with the way things are rigged, it has to do with the PA system and the number of speakers that they're using and how they're positioned and all of that. So if you can't get a great view from where you are standing, then you might be tempted to walk around and get a better look at what is going on. Sign number 4. The show is now at its peak. They're playing their greatest hits. Everybody is on their feet. The person next to you, however, is standing still, listening intently, usually with their eyes closed. What we're trying to do in that particular scenario is dissect the elements of the mix. We're listening to the frequency content, we're listening to the SPL levels, we're listening to pan settings, we're listening for just about anything that we can analyze and take back and see if we can deconstruct and figure out how it was done. We are really, really immersed in the show. And since we don't want to be distracted in doing that, we tend to close our eyes and really focus on what we're listening to. By the way, as I'm saying we, I've just realized that I'm just hoping there's another person out there that's doing the same thing so I feel less weird. Sign number 5. The show is over, the band said, "Good night, we love you." Everybody's packing their gear, people are leaving the auditorium. The person next to you starts to fidget, doesn't know what to do with themselves. "Hey man, do you need a hand? Oh, you good?" Okay. It's because we are so trained to be packing our gear and doing it in a very efficient manner because of the time constraints, and you just want to pack everything up and get ready for the next gig. And when the show is over and you have nothing to do, well, you're sort of lost. You really don't know what to do with yourself. And the training kicks in. You've been trained to do one thing for night after night after night after night. And once you break that pattern, but you are still in the same environment, it's sort of unnerving and you don't know what to do with yourself. Don't worry, nothing that a long car ride home where you'll be hearing everything about SPL levels, frequency, time domain, a whole bunch of stuff you never wanted to know about won't fix. This was it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have other examples, share them in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and share it with your friends. I really appreciate each and every one of you for taking out the time and watching my videos. Make sure to visit gainmedialab.com for more audio deliciousness. And until next time, take care, stay healthy, mix great shows. Bye.